A towering cruise ship barreled into a tourist riverboat on a busy canal in Venice on Sunday morning and injured at least 5 people, it has been reported. The collision, which saw the MSC Opera cruise liner crash into a small tourist boat, River Countess, happened about 8:30 a.m. on the Giudecca Canal, a major thoroughfare that leads to St. Mark's Square in the northeastern Italian city. MSC Cruises said the 2,679 passengers on board the 177-foot-high and 902-foot-long longliner, which dwarfed the Venice skyline, were approaching a terminal on the Giudecca Canal when the ship hit the dock after a technical problem. Dramatic footage from the scene shows the moment the cruise ship, apparently unable to halt its momentum and blaring its horns, plows into the much smaller riverboat as dozens of terrified spectators flee the chaotic scene. Italian media report that 110 passengers were on board the small riverboat. The cruise ship's owner, MSC Cruises, said the ship, the MSC Opera, was about to dock at a passenger terminal when it had a mechanical problem. The ship then appeared to lose control after a steel cable that tied it to a tugboat snapped. Towboats guiding the cruise ship into Venice tried to stop the massive cruise ship, but they were unable to prevent it from ramming into the small and powerless riverboat. President of a towboat association in Venice, Davide Calderon, told the Italian news agency ANSA the 2 towboats tried to stop the giant, and then a tow cable broke, cut by the collision with a riverboat. Mr. Calderon said the cruise ship's engine was locked when the captain called for help. Following the accident, Italian firefighters were deployed to the scene as shocked spectators watched on in horror from the dock. The international cruise ship line, with its headquarters in Geneva, says its ship, the MSC Opera, experienced a mechanical problem as it was docking at a passenger terminal and says it is cooperating with authorities to figure out what happened. The incident has now reignited calls to ban cruise ships in Venice, which have been a source of contention in the overextended tourist city. The MSC Opera was built in 2004 and can carry over 2,675 passengers in 1,071 cabins. According to its sailing schedule, the cruise ship left Venice on May 26 and traveled to Kotor, Montenegro, and Mykonos, Santorini, and Corfu in Greece, before returning on Sunday to the popular tourist destination of Venice. Shortly after the crash, members of the city's No Big Ships committee were seen standing next to the MSC Opera cruise ship and staging a protest against large cruise boats that sail close to the shore in the area. Campaigners of the No Grandi Navi movement have long since argued that cruise ships in the area damage the iconic city's ecosystem and disturb the ancient city's buildings. The crash comes days after 7 people were killed and 21 remain missing after the Mermaid, a sightseeing boat, capsized in just 7 seconds on the River Danube in Budapest on May 29. Following the tragedy, officials in Hungary said there was a slim chance of locating the survivors after the sightseeing boat sank almost instantly upon impact with a cruise ship called the Viking Cr outside the Hungarian parliament building. Seven South Korean tourists on board the Mermaid died, and 21 are still missing, including a 6-year-old girl, with searches are still ongoing in the Hungarian capital. Officials also confirmed that 30 South Korean tourists, 3 South Korean tour guides and 2 Hungarian crew were on board the sightseeing boat. Following the Danube tragedy, the captain of the Viking Cr, identified only as Yuri C. 64, was taken in by police, who suspect him of endangering water transport, leading to a deadly mass accident. "19 South Koreans are still among the 21 missing." A 31-year-old survivor, who only gave her surname as Young, told the South Korean news agency the current was so fast and people were floating away, but the rescue team did not come. Following the collision, CCTV footage showing the larger boat colliding with the 89-foot Mermaid, which had 35 people on board, began to emerge on social media. During the video, the Viking appeared to hit the Mermaid from behind before the smaller Soviet-era vessel spun sideways on impact. Following the tragedy, Paul Györfi, a spokesman for the Hungarian National Ambulance Service, told the M1 state broadcaster, "I wouldn't say there is no hope, rather that there is a minimal chance of finding survivors." This is not just because of the water temperature, but also the strong currents in the river, the vapor above the water surface, as well as the clothes worn by the people who fell in,